This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new 2025 RDX for $19 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moodius Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moodius Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodius.dental. Moodius Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodiusdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 Acura MDX during our 17th anniversary sale.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
Friends, Romans, and countrymen, epic deals await you at Toyota of Hollywood. You don't have to battle to get discounts of up to $4,500. Your chariot awaits. A Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our arena where everyone is victorious at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Link, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Link. Be the maestro of your own home.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new Acura ZDX, $439 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Inside on the South Florida beach.
Welcome aboard. It is Thursday, September 25, 2025. It is day number 18,881 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Vince Lombardi Trophy. It is also day number 8,665 since the Canes won the national title. And today is day number 84 that Bitcoin is over 100K. Good morning or afternoon or evening, depends on when you're watching or listening, and we appreciate it. Whenever you're watching, listening, please hit the like button. Very, very important that you hit the like button. I got 32 right at the beginning here and 13. So let's go. Some of you already watching, not even hitting the like button. You're slacking. Come on. Get it going. Anyway, welcome aboard. It is Thursday. We got the Dolphins on Monday. Obviously, we've got no Canes this weekend, so I know it's kind of a little slow. Congratulations to Inter Miami last night. Sean Stanley. Time to spark it up. Light me up or leave me alone, as the boys in traffic used to say. So let's give Inter Miami, after a 4-0 win, a victory cigar. That was nice yesterday. That was nice. Although the beginning, it really should have been like a 2-1 New York lead in the first half. They played the better half. They had 2 point-blank shots and missed them. And Miami dominated the second half. The second half was all Miami. They had their chance in the first half to make it a game, but then after that, it was all Miami. It was like a funky 2 halves. Because the first half, you walked away like, bro, we're really lucky to be 1-0. And then the second half, it was just explosion, and the rest was, all of that. Now, the Rodriguez goal, the passes to get to it was beautiful. Obviously, Messi with 2 goals. The spitter had a goal yesterday also. He did it on PK. So there you go. He spit it in, and it was all good. So 4-0 win. They were the 4th place team in the standings, and Inter was the 5th place team in the standings. So that swap happened last night too. That was also good. So we'll see how it. Again, they're measured in the playoffs. Anything that goes on in the regular season, it's kind of lost its luster, especially because of last year. Speaking of Bitcoin being over 100,000, it is at a beautiful dip. Not that I am a financial advisor by any stretch. Never have been, never will be. This has never been financial advice because I don't know anything. You know that. I don't know anything. I've only been talking about Bitcoin since it was at 16,000 for you guys, and now it's here at 111,000, but that is my point. 111,000 is a hell of a dip because it was at 124. So when October rolls around, not because my birthday is October 1st and, we want to celebrate, and it is day 101 of Bitcoin being over 100,000. Very interesting on my birthday. The first, it's 101. And me, obviously, I don't know. I kind of like Bitcoin a little bit, kind of talked about it just a tad on this show, just a little bit. So just, synergy, it's like a symbiotic connection that's going on. So it is a dip, and it is a beautiful thing right now because if it was at 124 and it's going to shoot past that, what do you think? What do you think you should be doing here? Again, we can lead a horse to water. They've got to be able to drink it. You know what I mean? Good thing is that people are figuring it out, And by the way, let me just kind of get into our segment already, since our friends at R&M Contractors also big Bitcoiners too at the same time.
So we've got a nice dip. It's gotten even under 111. It's been at 110.6 or 7 or something this morning already. So this is like a really sweet dip right now. Ohio, by the way, just approved to start accepting Bitcoin for taxes. The Netherlands are now in position of starting to consider a strategic Bitcoin reserve. It's going to happen, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. And this is the only money that grows. The dollar does not. Okay, and the dollar just gets printed and printed. The U.S. government bought another $700 million of their debt. They have bought about $13 billion of their debt in the last 5 weeks, I think it is. So it's another way of printing money and putting more money out on the street. Okay, and they're buying their debt back because people are dumping their debt. And the bonds on the 7, 10, 30 year, they are struggling to sell this stuff. They are not selling the U.S. debt like they used to. Okay, people aren't buying because there's way too much paper out there on the streets. And so that's one of the things. And then with the M2 money supply is at an all-time high. We talked about that yesterday on our crypto segment. Well, because of that, you'll see there's always a delay of 90, 100, 120 days. And then you'll see Bitcoin snap after that, because what do you think people are doing with the extra money? Because it's worthless. So you might as well put it into something that actually grows. Jobless claims was good news because it's 218,000 where they were estimating 235,000. Okay. The GDP growth was revised up from 3.3 to 3.8, but the last month there was a half point also, the other way. So it's kind of balancing out from what happened last month. So there's a lot of things that just continue to tell you where we're going, okay, and what's happening and what's going on with the people in charge. So and we could have a government shutdown and, all kinds of issues. I just saw where in the UK, they are going after people's bank accounts. If you owe any taxes, they're going directly into your bank account. Can they go into your cold storage wallet? Hey, Sean, can they go into your cold storage wallet? No. Why, Sean? Could it be because it's cold? It's not warm? It's not online? Yeah. Could it be that they don't have the 12 words? Interesting. Canada, remember when the trucker stuff, they froze people's accounts? Go look at the dollar bill. It tells you it's not your dollar. It's the Federal Reserve's dollar. So, remember what I always say, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. You shouldn't have a bank account. You should have a Bitcoin account, because your money you put there is safe, untouched by anybody, including the government. It grows. They can't control it. And what we do in our household is the only money that's in the bank is the money that gets cashed and sent to bills. That's it. Not one penny that is going to be saving or sits in the bank. So, just saying, you all live your life the way you want, but I see what's coming, and and eventually, how you think, oh, it won't happen here. Well, you remember when we used to see terrorist attacks and all kinds of other stuff all over the world? Wow, that happens over there. Thank God it doesn't happen here. So, everything you see everywhere else eventually comes here. The dollars that are hyperinflating, that's because our paper is the worst, is terrible paper, but it's not the worst paper because all the other paper is depending on our paper. So those will collapse first, and then it'll lead to us. So bigger and bigger governments like Argentina will collapse. Economies will collapse and bigger ones will collapse. And, like Germany is now having problems and Spain is having, economical issues. And so in the UK. And so, and eventually it comes to the motherland. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Don't tie yourself to any fiat currency. Not the dollar, not the pound, not the euro, not the ruble, not whatever the hell you want, okay? Just say it. Not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. And we thank our friends at R&M Contractors for our crypto segment, complete remodel, kitchen upgrades with appliances. We are in a storm season, so impact windows and door installations, they do it all, floor restorations, whatever it is. You need a sauna built in your house, they can do that too. They can do all kinds of stuff too. Whatever it is you need, R&M Contractors can get it done. You can go see their amazing work that they do all over South Florida. You can go to the Instagram page, RMC Fisher Island. You can see how detailed that Ray and Mike are. They will blow you away. R&M Contractors, and we thank them as always, sponsors of our crypto segment. All right. You could probably even paying with Bitcoin or Ethereum. You probably will accept that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they even takes that. Every business should be taking that by now. Did you see Ralph Lauren? You can now buy at Ralph Lauren with Ethereum. Ethereum grows, the dollar doesn't. By the way, Ethereum's at a dip right now. If you've never been at it. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. Thank you for the love on Venmo. You can smash the like button. You can also visit our amazing sponsors like R&M Contractors or Welton Rayom. And you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation there on Venmo. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. Thank you for the love on Venmo. Appreciate your generosity, sir. He says, what happened to tokens and cold storage when you need to spend and all the exchanges and wallets are frozen? Actually, the exchanges are never frozen and neither are the wallets. Do you happen to even know anything about this? By the way, Coinbase is going to become a bank. A lot of the exchanges will become banks. So, yeah. By the way, you can use Bitcoin without the internet. When the internet shuts down, it shuts down the gas pumps, the banks, everything. You know how the morons tell you, well, don't you worry about quantum computing? And I'm like, yo, dude, it's so hard to break the Bitcoin code because it's trillions of transactions in a blockchain, and you have to get to the first one, but you have to start at the last one. So you're going to have to break trillions before you get to one. And before they go into Bitcoin, which is at what, 2-3 trillion, they're going to go into your 401ks where there's 40-something trillion, morons. They're going to go into the bank accounts where there's another 9, 12, 15 trillion. They're going to go into businesses and all that. Those are the things that quantum, if they felt like hacking, they're going to hack the super simple stuff that has way more money. Dumbasses. People don't really understand what's going on. They're not educated. They don't really understand Bitcoin. They don't really understand cold storage wallets. They don't understand what warm or cold is. Warm is your phone and your bank account. It's warm. It's hot. It's online. It can be hacked by anybody. But if you have a cold storage wallet, it's offline. It can't. It's just kind of the way it is. Unless you give somebody your codes and your passwords, which you don't do that, obviously you should be safe. You know, hackers are the most powerful people in the world. There's no doubt about that. but they have low-hanging fruit all over the place. Your bank accounts are low-hanging fruit. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. Shell's account is low-hanging fruit. They're not going to waste their time with Bitcoin. They're going to go after all the easy stuff that there's way more money in it anyway. People really don't understand what's going on. So, yeah. By the way, you could use Bitcoin when the internet's down. Study. Learn. Education is a beautiful thing in life, bro. Get educated. You can't use anything when the electricity goes out. Nothing. Okay? You go to Burger King, McDonald's, or whatever. Oh, I'm sorry, our computers are down. We can't do anything. Can't do anything. So, it's interesting. Education is a beautiful thing. Find out. Stephen Baker, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. I appreciate it. And study a little Bitcoin, my brother. You will be way ahead of most of the world, because most of the world still doesn't know, and they have their heads up their culo. And so those of you that get in now, you're so ahead of 90% of the world. Is that insane? Is that insane? The people that are getting in now are like 90% ahead of the world. Wow. That's pretty good. You should feel good about yourself. By the way, it's turning up a little bit. It's at 111,652. And True Fin Fan farted again. These are facts. Bitcoin is the bomb, and True Fin Fan farts the bomb. Facts. We just spew facts here on the show. All right. Don't forget, smash the hell out of the like button. Only 31 likes. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Almost 3 times the amount of people watching than the likes. Come on. Come on. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. NorCal was number 1. Jeff in Long Island. Jamie Zorria in San Jose. Stony Stanley. Alexis Palenzuela. Oscar Rojas in Melbourne. Christian DiMartino. John Padilla. Yeah, a little football tonight. We've got Seattle favored by 1.5 on the road in Zona. That one's kind of tough to. I like Seattle in that one. Kind of like Seattle in that one. Slightly. But yeah, it's that's not. I don't know if it'll be really entertaining. Let's just hope that we get something entertaining. I was entertained by Inter Miami yesterday, at least. Let's see, Yater Castro. That's right. That's right. Good morning to the magnificent Sean Stanley. I like that. I like that. Gus 1388. Let's see. Big Johnson, damn Big O. Got to win some bets tonight for some discounted Bitcoin. Exactly. You got it. That's what I got to do today. Got to figure out some kind of a bet. And then if I win, I buy a little extra Bitcoin. What else? Lenny Pena, Alexis Palenzuela, Sam the Man, Ray Sosa, Lenny Pena, Juan Mendoza. Crazy you mentioned internet down with my whole office building, lost power and no internet. Look at that. And if you had to send Bitcoin to somebody, you still could. How about that? How about that? Doesn't only go by the internet. There's some radio waves that you can use too. What else? Lewis is in. Corso. Christian says every primetime game has been entertaining so far this season. Well, at least until the upcoming Monday night, yeah. Well, it might be entertaining for everybody else because of the train wreck or whatever, but it's only going to be entertaining for us if we win. If we lose, what are you going to do? By the way, added a new hat to the collection. Went to Caneswear. My daughter wanted a hat, so I went to go buy a hat. But it's dangerous. You go, and then you get in trouble. And visit our friends at Caneswear. I bought this one. Pretty cool, huh? I like it. I like it. It's part of the new 47 clan, I think it is. And I got this one too. I love this one. So I added a couple of Canes hats to the collection. My daughter got a Canes hat. She got a Inter Miami hat. So there you go. And a Dolphins hat. She actually got a Dolphins hat that I have. And so pretty cool. So yeah, I told you guys I think I was going to Caneswear right after the show yesterday. And so I went by and see Brett and all the great people. Don't forget, use our code BIG-O10. You will get 10% off. All right. And that's online and in person. BIG-O10, you will get it online or in person. Remember, online, order over $99 because you'll get free shipping too. You know what I mean? So save the 10%, save the shipping, and order a few items there. You know, it'll be easy to pick a few items because they've got Canes and Marlins and Panthers and Heat and anything, practically everything with the damn UM logo on it. So if you're a U fan, you'll freaking love Caneswear, man. You'll get something for your bar or whatever it is. Maybe a present for a friend of yours too. You can do that. So there you go. And say hi to Brett and Jeff and Jack and Ken Graff and all the people out there at Caneswear, and tell them that we sent you. Always, whenever you go to Subaru and wherever it is that you go, you call R&M Contractors. You make sure that you tell them that, you know, we sent you. Sloman's, you know, whatever it is, make sure you mention us, please. That's very, very important. Have you ever had an exchange delay your transfer to cold storage wallet? Coinbase had mine for 4 days. I don't trust Coinbase. I don't work with Coinbase. I've seen way too many people have issues with Coinbase, and so I stay away from Coinbase. I've worked with crypto.com now for nearly 6 years. Never, ever, 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 ever had one issue there. Ever. Nothing frozen. Everything transfers right away. You know, just obviously you always have to make sure whatever exchange you go to, make sure it has bridges to whatever you're buying to send out. After you've, confirmed that, then you could just go ahead and, so I would rather, my opinion, again, you do your own homework, not financial advice. I would use crypto.com over Coinbase every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Okay. I buy nothing from Coinbase. I bought from Coinbase when I was a rookie, and then I dumped Coinbase, and it's too close to the government and the banks and all that kind of stuff. I just kind of, they almost like have their own world, and I don't like it. So I by the way, I only use exchanges to buy and move. That's it. I don't keep my crypto on exchanges. I move it. So, that's what I would suggest to all of you. And that's what you're doing. I would just say that never happens in crypto.com. Never. Never happened to me, at least. So that's all I can tell you. And I've heard lots of horror stories with Coinbase. Lots of. By the way, that bullshit story with Kevin Durant, that's a horseshit story. Kevin Durant lost his password, and Coinbase helped him recover it. Let me tell you something, okay? You lose your shit, Coinbase ain't helping you. That's a bad story to let out because they don't help anybody. So if you lose your password and all that, they don't help you retrieve it. You're done. You lost your crypto. It's gone. It's in the crypto sphere, and it'll never be held by anybody else again. So that story that you saw with Kevin Durant, don't, please, okay? Do not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. That's a nice story for Kevin Durant, and the only reason he was able to recover his account and his Bitcoin from Coinbase because he's Kevin Durant. And so I'm sure he had his agent and lawyer and all that and yada, yada, yada. And then they were like, whoa, this is Kevin Durant. And then they personally vetted it and all that. And then, okay. But they're not going to do that because there's thousands of people that forget their shit and they open an account and they go 12 words. What was it? Was I supposed to save that shit? And so it's gone. And they don't know and all that. And it's sad. It's sad. And they will not help you. They will not help you. Okay? So please don't fall for that one. I hate that story's out there because Coinbase ain't helping you, dude. Just try regular Coinbase customer service. Just regular customer service. Are you kidding me? So, yeah. Anyway, Seattle's defense is really good this year. Yes, sir. That's where I would lean is right now. I'd go with Seattle -1.5 right now. That would be my pick. What else? Razzle Dazzle Crypto. What's up? Oh, still heading back from Buffalo and getting ready for Spain. All right, man. Hopefully we'll meet in Spain. I'm sure I'll be going to a bar or somewhere. Hopefully that is a dolphin place. Got to get that shit going already. What else? Ray Sosa says didn't expect Inter to be playing the way they have the past few games. Yes. Well, their backs are against the wall. They have games to make up. If they don't make these games up, they're going to be low on the totem pole, and they don't want to face the top seeds in the conference because they'll get eliminated right away. So they're now in the middle where they won't be facing the top seeds at the moment. So that helps them. They've got to know this. So they've got to take advantage. But I agree with you. I thought that they would be struggling because of the old legs. Like last night, when they score that fourth goal, I would have pulled Messi. And no, he just finished the game. And it's like, yo, dude, you guys play Saturday. Like, pull him. But I know he's a gym rat and he loves to be out there, but you still have to protect him from him. You know what I mean? These are things that, whatever, bro. What do I know? I'm an idiot. What else? Ocala Joe, morning. Oh, morning to you, sir. Smashing it early today. My favorite exchange is Uphold. Another one that I have had zero issues with. Uphold. Buy, transfer. Oh, by the way, speaking of a bank, Uphold is already a bank. Uphold, you can already do your checking there. Oh, and by the way, instead of having money in the bank, you can have your USD or whatever there and earn 4% in your checking account. So check out Uphold. There's a lot of things going on in crypto that people just don't understand and you can use for your benefit and instead of banks that are just taking away all that money. And the service fees. You don't have a service fee. Education is a beautiful thing, bro. Education. Let's see. When I started, I was on Coinbase, quickly released it. It was bad. That's what Alexis says. Dolphin Dave says, you do a great job, Big O. You're the best. Well, thank you, Dolphin Dave. Not true, but I love you. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Thank you, my man. Inter's trying to get that home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Well, we'll see if they can. The only problem I have with that is 2 years ago, don't kill yourself, and then you have no legs when you get there, because they didn't have it. Remember when he got here initially, and they were killing themselves to try to make the playoffs, and they won the League's Cup, and they were playing U.S. Open Cup and all that, and they ran out of gas because they were so far behind. You're already in the playoffs. If you're really good, then you could take your game on the road too, bro. Like the Panthers. It's not like soccer is like, oh my God, home field is just a dominant thing. No, dude, if this is the MLS. If you're really that good, pace yourself. Like I said last night, that fourth goal was scored. There was like 8 minutes left in the game, or 9 or whatever. Let me see. Suarez, 83rd minute in the PK, okay, plus the extra time. So about 10 minutes. Why am I going to run Messi for 10 more minutes in a 4-0 game? Yeah. You know what I mean? Hell, I would have had him already subbing while he was preparing for the PK. You know, but that's me. So I kind of look at it a little different. You got old guys. Don't kill yourself trying to get the number 1 seed, because last year you had the number 1 seed and you got eliminated by Atlanta, and it didn't mean shit. See what I'm saying? So if you really are the team, don't play for home field. You didn't defend home field last time. So what's the difference? But I don't know. We'll see. I kind of disagree with a lot of the shit that they do, and with the young guys that they've gotten rid of and all that. I just think they've done things to actually set themselves back, because they're so top heavy. You know what I mean? And I don't think they've done a good enough job of building a team with more depth. And that's, I think, been a problem of theirs. But hey, whatever. What do I know? It is what it is. We'll see if they can do better than they did last year. NorCal says Uphold is great. Coinbase, I heard, is insured by you. Yeah, I just, there's too much government ties with Coinbase. I'm not a fan of it, man. But that's just my opinion. As always, you guys do your own homework. Let's see. True Fin Fan says up at 4 a.m. every day and putting in 60 hours a week. Today, my flatulence gave me a day off. I'll take it. You gave other people a day off too. That's the key. That's the key factor there. You gave everybody else a day off. They can I can walk around like this today. Usually they're walking around like this. Hey, how you doing, True Fan Fan? How's it going? Yeah. Everybody sounds like Pat Mahomes around True Fin Fan. It's kind of what happens, you know. What are you going to do? Hey, True Fin Fan, how you doing? What's up, man? Hey. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum, Chainlink or Solana donation. Trying to make it a 112 now. It's at 111,717. Actually moving and a grooving. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The great Sean Stanley, the Miami or Inter Miami. No, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me do a Samantha style. Inter Miami clinches a playoff spot yesterday as they defeat NYCFC 4-0. Lionel Messi with 2 goals in the 78th and 86th minute. And Luis Suarez did it in the 83rd minute, by the way. Just saying. Rodriguez initially started it in the 43rd. Inter Miami is back in action Saturday at Toronto. All right. Tonight, by the way, in NFL action, Seattle is taking on Arizona, and Seattle's favored by 1.5, and the over and under is 43. Seattle minus 135, Arizona plus 110. And Fort Lauderdale United back in action on Saturday. And if you missed our interview with Shay Allen earlier in the week, you should catch it. Hit the like button on it, share it, and support, man. The only unbeaten pro soccer team in town, your Fort Lauderdale United. They will visit Brooklyn FC Saturday at 3:30. You can catch it on Peacock and on Local 10. And November 1st, against this same Brooklyn team, is when we will be broadcasting from the stadium. And that'll be at Beyond Bankcard Field, November 1st, 7:30. Friday, Miami FC is on the road in North Carolina to take on NCFC. And again, Friday night at 7 o'clock. And then the Dolphins, they are back on Monday Night Football, but the 7 o'clock game. And they will be taking on the Jets, hosting the Jets at Hard Rock Stadium. Miami is favored by 2.5. The over and under is 44.5. Jets plus 130 on the money line. The Dolphins are minus 155 on the money line. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Please call my friend Alan Blanco at 786-618-1443 for custom printing and embroidery. So there you go. Your company, your corporation, your cafeteria, whatever you need, any kind of uniforms or whatever it is going on, they can take care of you there at 3A Graphics. If your escuela needs new uniforms, 3A Graphics, 786-618-1443. And, of course, call my guy, Señor Blanco. All right. All right. What else do we have to talk about in the world of sports? So the Heat have signed Precious Achiuwa. And it's good. Look, I'm going to have a little fun with this, but all kidding aside, okay, you needed front court help. It helps. There's no doubt about it. It's just, I'm just going to get into this like I did last year. You know, I'm you know me, I'm the bad guy. As always, I'm the bad guy. Say good morning to the bad guy. And so last year, you know, I didn't expect much at all from the Heat, play in again and all that. With Butler and all that, I wasn't expecting much. I wasn't expecting him to even last as it is. I wasn't even hoping that he would be here. And he was, unfortunately, and then the whole fiasco. What are we expecting? You signed Achiuwa. Will we have a Precious season? No. That's the screwed up part about all of this. Unless one of the young guys turns into a star, okay? Unless Kalel Ware or Yakuchonis or my guy Larson, it's not going to be Bam. We know that, okay? And Tyler, whenever he returns, he's not a star either. So unless there's a star that hasn't been born yet, that's the only way you're actually, you know, a 6th or a 5th or a 4th seed or something like that. This team is playing for like the 9th or 10th spot in the play-in. That's what they're playing for. They're not even going to be good enough to be 7 or 8. If they do, then Spo did just an absolutely magnificent job. If they can get to 6 or 5, that's because somebody turned into a star. Somebody is carrying the team and, you know, has kind of like elevated themselves as I'm the guy. And please don't start that, you know, what Asia did this year and all that is going to rub off on Bam. That's not going to happen. Okay. All right. But really, that's and you look at where they're at right now, it's just a developmental year. It all depends on how you want to set yourself up. It's kind of like the Dolphin season that we're in right now. We had most writers, I think, might have thought that this was a playoff team or something, or even discussing it being a playoff team, which I don't know why. Really have no idea. And then fans, the same thing. So they misread the season. I understand fans because they're going with their hearts and it's what they want. And they kind of wish that in what they see. The media should be way more objective in all of this. And they weren't. So how objective are you going to be about the Heat season? That's really the question. Are you prepared that you're probably at best a play-in team, maybe even outside of the play-in? That's who you are now. I mean, they have been a play-in team for a few years now. Even with Jimmy Butler, they were a play-in team. Well, what do you think they're going to do now? They're younger. They don't have one star on the team. Bam's not a star, does not have the cojones to be a star. That has been proven over and over and over again. He is passive. He is a facilitator. He is a super role player. Okay, he's more worried about helping everybody else and not leading everybody else. That's the difference between a star and a super role player. And he's exceptional. That's why I give him the super role player title. But he's not a star. And you have no stars. So the question is, how honest are you going to be with yourself about the Heat? You know what I mean? Either way, I'm going to watch. I don't care. I watch the Summer League, which has nothing to do with the regular season or the playoffs. So I don't really care. I love the Heat either way. You know, and I want Riley and Arison to figure it out. I don't like how they're doing things. I think they have completely lost it, to be quite honest. But, hey, man, you know, they've given us an amazing quarter century. We'll see what happens. They're entitled to do all of this right now. And if they want to do it wrong, it is what it is. But right now, I don't think they're headed in the right path. Unless somebody turns into a star, that's the only way Pat Riley, the front office, and Mickey Arison can turn to the media and an idiot like me and say, you see, you don't know nothing. We know. We told you so. We didn't have to go tear it all down. We knew one of our young guys was going to turn into a star. Maybe it's a lie, but guess what? If the guy turned into a star, they can make that claim all the hell they want. But if that is not there, then what are you watching? You're watching development. That's it. And since it's a lot of development, you can't expect much from this. All right? Just how realistic will you be with yourself about the Miami Heat season? That's the real question. All right. Let me see here. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You know what, Sean? Before I do my Dolphin talk, I am going to get music out of the way today. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get music out of the way. How about that? All right, let's start off with musicians celebrating birthdays today. On the 25th of September, who was born today in music? Oh, my boy Teddy Swims celebrating a birthday today. Nice job. He's so good, dude. He's CeeLo Green on steroids. I'm telling you. Born in 92. Happy birthday to him. Childish Gambino. Born Donald Glover. Born in 1983 on this date. Musician, actor, DJ, does everything pretty much. Let's see who else is celebrating birthdays today. Will Slap Smith. Born in 1968. Steve Severin, songwriter, composer, multi-instrumentalist, with Susie and the Banshees, born in 1955. Steve McKay, saxophone with the Stooges and the Violent Femmes. Not bad. Born in 1949, passed away in 2015. Jerry Penrod, bassist with Iron Butterfly, born in 1946. Ani McIntyre, from the R&B funk band Average White Band, born in 1945. Gary Alexander, guitarist and singer from The Association, born in 1943. All right, and that is musicians. Let's go with other famous folk celebrating birthdays. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means, unfortunately, they are no longer with us. We start off with convicted spy Ethel Rosenberg, born in 1915. TV journalist Barbara Walters, born in 1929. Or as in the old SNL skit, Babwa Wawa. Michael Douglas, born in 1944, still with us. He's 81. You know, Michael Douglas lives in Bermuda, that little tiny island in the middle of the Atlantic. He lives there. That's where he lives with Catherine Zeta-Jones. He was born there, actually. So he has always worked in Hollywood and all that, but he has always lived in Bermuda. It's pretty amazing. Pretty funky. Bermuda's a hell of an island, obviously, because it's got everything, but you're still on an island and you're in the middle of nowhere and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of intimidating being in Bermuda. Anyway, model Cheryl Tiegs, born in 47, she's 78. Actress Mimi Kennedy, born in 48, she's 77. Actor Anson Williams, Happy Days, born in 49, he's 76. Actor Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, born in 51, he's 74. Actor Christopher Reeve, Superman, born in 52, no longer with us, unfortunately. Actor Michael Madsen, love that guy, born in 57, no longer with us. Actress Heather Locklear, born in 61, she's 64. Let's see who else. Basketball Hall of Famer Scottie Pippen, born in 65. He is 60, and he is also a liar. He will tell you that he met Satoshi Nakamoto, which is a complete lie. I don't know why he did. And he told Michael Saylor that he met Satoshi. And Michael looked at him like, bro, you just got into Bitcoin a few years ago. Get the hell out of here. Anyway, wow. And wow. I gave you a nugget. I learned a nugget. Catherine Zeta-Jones. Her birthday's today. She was born on this date in 69. Wow. So Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones got married, and they both share the same birthday. It's like effing Christmas twice a year for them. Or Valentine's Day, right? So the 3 dates, they actually exchange birthday gifts, including their birthday. That's pretty cool. TV host Hal Sparks, born in 69. He's 56. Didn't know that one. Let's see. Musician T.I., born in 80. He's 45. And, here we go. That's it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born today? I can't hear anything. There's he may not have the mic on. Maybe one of those things. I don't know what he does in that studio. I don't know if he has like wild sex or something, but it just like the mic works one day, then it doesn't work the next day, and then it sounds like it's underwater. Some funky shit goes on in that studio. All right, do you have birthdays yet? Like, I see him struggling on the screen. No, he doesn't. What are you gonna do? Email them to me? Is that what you're gonna do? Text them to me? I don't know what goes on in that Sean Stanley studio. I just hope he doesn't leave the damn cam on. Because really, I don't know. He's having sex all over his board or something. I don't know what the hell is going on in that place. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Well, you could give me. I didn't know that, by the way. You could have given me like the MO that you were doing that. I had no idea that you were doing that. All right. Let's go with what happened today in music history. Okay. Because you all want to know what happened in music history, right? All right. Let's start off in 1964. The Temptations began recording My Girl, which went to be their first #1 single and the first of 15 U.S. top 10 hits. Let's see. In 1970, on this date, the first episode of The Partridge Family was shown on U.S. TVs, featuring Shirley Jones, David Cassidy, Susan Day, and Danny Bonaducci. In 1970, Janis Joplin records Me and Bobby McGee at Sunset Studios in Hollywood. She dies 9 days later from a drug overdose at the age of 27. And by the way, that Sunset Sound Studios, you should also check out the documentary Sunset Studios. It is phenomenal. And the Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl, he's kind of like the guy that put together that documentary because of all the bands that it recorded there at Sunset Studio. I've talked about this before. And the studio doesn't exist anymore. Freaking Dave Grohl took the board from that place, and he has the board in his studio now from that ginormous, historic recording studio. That the amount of hit records that were recorded there was ridiculous. You should check it out if you're a music fan. That's one that you should check out. All right, what else do we have going on? In 1980, on this date, the drummer of Led Zeppelin, John Bonham, died after consuming the equivalent of 40 shots of vodka in 4 hours on the eve of embarking on a U.S. tour that I was going to see. Bonzo had been an intrinsic part of Zeppelin's sound, and the group decided it could not continue, deciding to disband shortly thereafter. Bonham is thought of as some of maybe the greatest and most influential rock drummer in history. And in 2016, Rolling Stone magazine ranked him #1 in its list of 100 greatest drummers of all time. It's pretty cool when you have bands like Led Zeppelin or The Who that, like, the Beatles aren't considered this. Like, they're considered great and great musicians in their own right, that they make great music and historic music and super influential, but they are not considered some of the greatest musicians in their own right. Nobody puts Paul McCartney as one of the great bassists. They do that with Geddy Lee. They won't do that with him. See what I'm saying? Kind of the way it goes. Okay. But it's just one of those deals. Well, with Led Zeppelin, well, Bonham is one of the greatest drummers. Jimmy Page is one of the greatest guitarists. John Paul Jones is one of the greatest bassists. And then you got Robert Plant, one of the greatest voices. And it's like The Who. John Entwistle is one of the greatest bassists of all time. Pete Townsend, oh my God. You know what I mean? And then, you know, it's just Keith Moon and Roger Daltrey and all that. So there are certain bands like that. Queen is another one that has elite musicians in every part, including, of course, the singer is the greatest of all time. You know, so it's really cool when a few of those bands that they come together, and each one of them happen to be one of the elites in their respective, you know, spots. And Led Zeppelin was one of those, dude. Big time. In 89, new wave duo Tears for Fears released their third studio album, The Seeds of Love. The Seeds of Love. It's the last TFF release to feature Kurt Smith, who relocates to New York to pursue a solo career after an acrimonious split. They have reunited since. Let's see who else. Oh, how about this nugget I learned today? In 1990, on the same date that Janis Joplin was recording that in Sunset Studios, well, drummer Dave Grohl on this date auditioned for Nirvana and was instantly given the job. A year later, the band recorded Nevermind, which exceeded all expectations and became a worldwide commercial success. How about that? Little ties in the dates. I like that. Let's see what else. In 1990, INXS released X, the follow-up to their wildly successful 87 album, Kick. In the interim, lead singer Michael Hutchence released an album with less glamorous band, Max Q, and it featured Suicide Blonde and Disappear. Two great songs. What else happened today in music history? In 95, David Bowie released his 20th studio album, Outside. It features The Heart's Filthy Lessons, or Lesson, Strangers When We Meet, and Hello Space Boy. A Pet Shop Boys remix, by the way. In 2001, Tenacious D released their debut studio album, Tenacious D, and it features the singles Wonder Boy and Tribute. In 2001, Modest Mouse released their EP, Everywhere, and He's Nasty Parlor Tricks, that is. And it features the singles Night on the Sun and You're the Good Things and Here It Comes. What else do we have? Oh, man, there's so many things to pick up here. Let's pick up the Silver Sun Pickups. In 2015, released their fourth studio album, Better Nature, and it features Nightlight. And that is it. Let's go with some birthdays that I may not have mentioned on the other list. Nope, actually. Nope. They were all there. Yep, that's it. And that's what happened today in music history. There we go. I love it. All right. Oh, man. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. As always, don't forget the Big Cheese, big sponsors of our program. We love the Big Cheese. Pickup or delivery, by the way. And they have got just hurricane memories all over the walls. And maybe they got to add a few more now this year because of everything going on, because maybe this year is going to be special. But you can go look at it. They've been around for 45 years. And they have been just taking care of Canes fans for a long time. And when you walk, the visit there is worth just the memories. Seriously. It's just awesome just to see the autograph stuff, the pictures, stuff that is one of a kind. You won't see it anywhere else. You know what I mean? Really good stuff. Go check it out there at the Big Cheese. And the food, of course, is just absolutely amazing. Tell them that I sent you, and they will take care of you there at BigCheeseMiami.com. What else do we have going on? Eddie Lepp, I watched the U Part 2 last night. I forgot how depressing the Nevin Shapiro time was. I don't know if we will win it all with Mario, but to be here now sitting at number 2, I'm thankful. Yes, it was bad, dude. Nevin Shapiro is just a terrible person. So, yeah, it was just a bad time, unfortunately. And it's funny because I think that Donna Shalala kind of gets away a little too clean from what went on here, because she was kind of asleep at the wheel and maybe contributing to the whole thing too, at the same time by being irresponsible, talking one thing but doing another. Eddie Lepp says The Police, Rush, Primus, Queensryche, love it. I love the list. Yep, a lot of excellence there. Anthony says Big O for optimistic. I rewatched the Ravens versus Dolphins game and post-game show where Tua goes off in the comeback. Oh, good times. Felt like the other day. So far away, yeah. Yeah. You actually watched our post-game show or their post-game show? I'm just wondering. Did you watch our post-game show from that? That would be pretty impressive. That was happy times, too. Man. Just as a Dolphin fan, you could just never really enjoy anything. That's just kind of the way it goes. It's terrible. You know? It's terrible. Talking a little Dolphins. Jeremy Fowler. And we told you about this, I want to say, I don't know, 6 months ago, something like that. When did we start talking about Tyreek and Chubb? About, you want to say 6 months ago? What do you think? About 6 months ago? We told you way before anybody, we told you, hey, Tyreek will never be traded in the offseason. Remember doing all that stuff in the offseason and I tried to tell you all it's never going to happen, never going to happen, never going to happen. Just like the Tua thing, hey, they can't. Just can't. So we also told you during that time, because have you noticed that people started even talking about Chubb now? Have you noticed that at all, Sean? Because it's funny, because now I'm starting to hear people talk about, oh, Bradley Chubb could be another guy that they could be trading. Whatever. Everybody's like so behind our show. It's ridiculous how behind they are on our show. I mean, they all thought a bunch of them thought we were going to the playoffs, and we're like, yeah, no, that's not the case here. But anyway, so we look at Jeremy Fowler, who's a good dude. I know Jeremy very well. I can bring him on the show and all that. And he put out there that the Pittsburgh Steelers are the team that is willing to have a conversation about Tyreek Hill. And this conversation for Tyreek will build up in the next month. Okay, because then we'll get really close to the trading deadline. And, you know, the Dolphins season, like, I think this is the way I kind of imagine the next 2 weeks. I think the Dolphins lose one of the next two. I don't know which one, but I think they're going to lose one of the next two. I think they're going to win one of the next two, but I actually don't think they're going to win the next two. So then all this other stuff will build up, and I've been telling you guys this is going to go this way anyways. And he said that the Steelers are the team that is willing to have a conversation, not necessarily make the move right away, but at least have the conversation to find out if it's doable. Now, here's the problem with that story, and I'm sure Jeremy Fowler will tell you the same thing. We don't know where things are going to be a month from now. If the Steelers lose all their games over the next few weeks, they're not going to worry about trading for Tyreek Hill at that point. But if they are making a charge, here's where I love this story, and it makes sense. What's the dumbest team in the NFL when it comes to receivers? The Pittsburgh Steelers. No team picks up more idiots than the Pittsburgh. It's like what agent has represents the most knuckleheads? There's only one agent that represents the most knuckleheads and the biggest knuckleheads in all of the NFL. Anybody want to answer that one? Come on, let's go. We got 100 people watching right now. Anybody want to take a stab? Who's the agent that has the most morons on a consistent basis? year after year after year. There you go. There you go. So this is a very believable story because the Pittsburgh Steelers, you have a coach that feels he can manage any ego that's out there. And I told you that if he keeps his head on straight and stays out of trouble, maybe you can get a high third day pick, fourth rounder, in other words. Maybe. But it's probably going to be more of a fifth because of the problems. I love how everybody guessed Drew Rosenhaus. It's like, who else, right? And I do like this story for that because, but again, we also need Tyreek to keep his shit together for another month. Be productive if he can be. Like the deep ball, even though it was thrown short, doesn't matter, dude. It hit you right in the hands. You got to catch that. So you need him to play well. You need him to stay out of trouble. You need him not to create issues in the locker room. And then you can, get a Steeler team. Because remember, whoever trades for him is only renting him for a few weeks for a playoff run. And Aaron Rodgers is not playing well. Just saying. That I know they're 2-1 and all that. That's all that guy cares about. But if you really look at the numbers, they're not really impressive overall as a team. So they could use Tyreek. I'm not saying that it'll work out because, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers and Tyreek Hill. Oh, my God. Really? That's what we're talking about? So I don't know, but it's a story that we're now going to start talking about over the next few weeks. And it's a storyline that we have to follow. Look, the Dolphins season's been over for a while. Okay, now maybe some of you now at 0-3, you're kind of figuring it out now. Okay, good. So let's keep the focus on what we're supposed to really focus on this year. Let's hope the draft picks improve as the year goes on. And let's hope that this guy can stay out of trouble. Chubb's going to stay out of trouble, and Chubb is already killing it. You might get a third-round pick for Chubb. So you could add a third, fourth, a third, fifth for 26 or 27. I don't know, whatever the picks are going to be. But Chubb has a chance of bringing you a second-day pick. Because he's a pass rusher. He's a great dude. They will also have an out, but they might even want to keep him for an extra year if he's healthy and playing well, and he is playing well overall. So that is one that, as we told you like 6 months ago, that these are the ones that are going to happen. We told you it was going to be a bad season, and we told you trading deadline, Tyreek and Chubb. Okay. You had plenty of other people that they were afraid to tell you the truth, or they didn't see what I see or know what I know. So they're telling you playoffs and, whatever. This is how it's going to go. So let's hope that Chubb stays healthy and is playing well, because then they will have an opportunity to make that trade. And definitely the Tyreek one, they will unload him somewhere in the deadline. And remember, as I've told you throughout the offseason and now, okay, they have shown no commitment to winning this year. Everything has been about resetting and fiscal and all that. So what do you do at the trading deadline? You continue the fiscal reset. They're not going to add talent. They're going to add draft picks. They're going to clear cap space. That's what they are doing. If that coach is good enough to win, he'll prove it in the process. If he's not, you can make your change and move on. That's what's going on. By the way, as you see, we are Big E Strong all over here in the studio, on the mic, on the wrist, and get yours, by the way. Let me see. Do I have it centered? Yeah, pretty much. So there you go. Support our guy, Ian. Get Big E strong. Reach out there. You got all the information. The Sports Babe and Lou. And they'll get you out your Big E strong bands and support one of the best human beings on the planet. Yeah, he's a great Dolphin. Yeah, he was the Dolphin of the year. All that. None of that means shit to me, dude. This is a great human being. Okay? This is one of the phenomenal people on Mother Earth. So let's do our part. Any little thing. He's got a crap ton of medical bills. The man just cleared chemotherapy, but he is not out of the woods yet. He needs the transplant, and they have not been able to find the right match yet. So we're all praying that he can hang in there and stay positive and get to that transplant. So let's all help out and support one of the best human beings on the planet. All right. What else do we have here? Mike Tomlin, age 10 years. Handling Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, and Ben Roethlisberger. Dude, Ben Roethlisberger is a complete dirtbag. So let's not leave him out, okay? Brett says, Big O, in another month, Tyreek will have fathered 2 more kids. Yeah, but they don't care about that part. As long as he's not breaking IG's legs, setting houses on fire, just doing stuff that, attacking old men on fishing piers and stuff. We got to stay away from that kind of stuff. Okay? Stay away from that, and then we can move them. That's right, Horn Dog. Season was over before it even began. I know. I tried to tell people, but, Anthony says the reason why I listened to the Ravens versus Dolphins post-game Big O show. The good times. We already have the coffin in the grave for season 25. Refund $100 gift card at the Dollar Tree. So thank you for watching that post-game show, The Good Days. It's very nice of you, Anthony. Thank you. Anthony B says Coinbase can help recover your password. Coinbase wallet cannot help you recover your key phrase. Yeah, it's what they did for Kevin Durant, they're not going to do for you. That's all I can tell you. It's just a crazy story to put out there because there's going to be other people and they're going to say, well, you helped Kevin Durant and all that, and that's going to create a problem for them. Okay? Thank you, Justin. Prayers up, my brother. There are so many good QBs this draft. I don't care what happens. Just get a top 10 pick. Yep. Behind that offensive line in the running game, don't worry about it. Every QB will be successful, bro. Of course, JD. Yeah, bro. I mean, we won so much with Marino. Are the guys that are coming out there, are they better than Marino? Just wondering. Because we're going to need somebody even better than Marino. I don't know. I don't know who you expect to win without a running game and an offensive line and so far offensive coordinator too. I don't know. I don't know what your plan is, JD. But we'll see. Interesting, by the way, how one saves the other. Anybody ever notice this? The new thing that's happening now. Sean, do me a favor before I get into this. Give me 15, 30 seconds. Let me turn on the AC, getting a little sticky.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
All right. So you ever notice that one is saving the other? And that's how we've actually managed to survive the entire year. Luckily, here in South Florida, or for you South Florida sports fans that live in other parts of the country or the world, and thank you for tuning in, we are now in the middle of one saving the other. The Canes are saving your Dolphins season. If you're a Canes and Dolphins fan, of course. Like I said, South Florida sports fans. I only live and die one way. All my local teams, and that's it. That's all I care about. So for me, personally, the Canes are making my Dolphin season because I know the Dolphins are going nowhere, but at least the Canes give me something. The Panthers are making up for my Heat season because obviously in the winter, my Heat season sucks. That's the way it's turned out to be now because they're a mediocre club now. Unfortunately, Riley and the boys and Harrison, they're not very good at their job anymore. So look what we get, unfortunately. And in the summer, Inter Miami, they're the ones making the playoffs. It's not like the Marlins are going to spend any money or anything like that. I understand the fluky little runs that they've had this year or whatever, silliness. But it's watching the Marlins is not like something that they can actually accomplish anything. You're just hoping that they can surprise because they're not committed to winning. Inter is committed to winning. You may not agree like I do. I don't agree with the way they do things, but they are spending like crazy. That's for sure. They're spending a lot of money on players. They may not know how to build the chemistry of the team, but they are spending a lot of money. But it's interesting how we're lucky that we have all 5 pro teams and 1 exceptional college team in the most important sport of all, football. Those 6 are now working in perfect form right now, because it would kind of suck if 2 were good in one season and 2 were bad in one season, because then it's like, holy crap, dude. And I know most people would say, well, give me the summer. Inter and the Marlins suck. I can live with that. Just give me my football, my basketball, my hockey, college football. Those are the main ones right now, at least, because hockey's actually really, really good. But it's really interesting how in our sports seasons, one is carrying the other. And again, you have to be an all South Florida sports fan like me and Sean, and you have to be an all sports fan like me and Sean, because some of you don't like soccer. Some of you don't watch the NBA anymore. Some of you really don't care much for hockey. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you, you'll watch football and basketball or whatever, maybe baseball, but a lot of you, you don't watch baseball either. So it's weird like that, but it's interesting how every season there's a good and there's a bad. Just kind of weird how it breaks down and how fortunate we are to have the option, because not a lot of cities have most cities. Who has the 6? Huh, Sean? Who has the 6? The 5 pro and 1 college team that's like really good. There's not a lot, dude. What's USC's record this year? Because that's an easy one with LA because they have so many of the other ones. So I think USC is half decent, right? But what's their rank? Are they even ranked? I think they are, right? You see,
they're first in the Big Ten or whatever they are now. The Big whatever.
Where are they at? USC, yeah, 21. Yeah. So good pro team in town. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot. We're like one of the few that have the 5 and the pro team. You know, I guess Georgia would be another. No, but I'm sorry. Do they have? Did they lose their hockey team? They don't have a hockey team anymore, right? Right? No, right? Yeah, they lost the Thrashers. They lost the Flames. They've lost everything. So no, Georgia's out. See, it's like weird, dude. We are really, really lucky that we have all the pro teams and one hell of a college team because our seasons are so divided all throughout the year. One franchise for sure isn't going to do much, and the other franchise is the one that you're counting on desperately. Okay. By the way, I should add that the Fort Lauderdale United right now also are winning, along with Inter Miami. So might as well, you know. They did go to the finals last year. They're number 2 in the league right now. You know, these are things that the Marlins cannot claim, you know, at this point in time because they're not committed to winning. Those days were done with Huizenga. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? We should hire Garfinkel at GM and Bevel at coach. Garfinkel is not really a football guy. He's a business guy. Do you guys really know what you're talking about? You know what I mean? And by the way, is Garfinkel and Ross the ones that hired McDaniel? Still wondering about that one. What else do we have? Dolphin Dave. Holy Wars, my brother, if you haven't listened to the show, I can't help you, but I'm not going to sit here and repeat crap. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you haven't heard it, too bad, bro. Rewind, go find segments, and you'll figure it out. If you don't, I don't care, bro. You know what I mean? You're probably one of those guys that thought that this was a playoff team or something, or that Tyreek was going to get traded in the offseason or whatever it is and all that kind of stuff. So it's all good, man. Let's see. What else do we have? All right. This is it's interesting, you know, when you talk about the quarterback position and living, you know, the entire history of the Dolphins like I have, and we talk about it all the time. You need the running game. You need the offensive line to block, all those kind of things. If you didn't have the running game or the line blocking, does Greasy have the same history here with the Dolphins? Because it's kind of the same kind of quarterback. The smart guy, the accurate guy, can run the offense all right, but, you know, he had 3 running backs. He had a dominant offensive line, tight ends, and he had a world-class wide receiver in Paul Warfield, you know what I mean? So he had all of the weapons that he needed, and he had Don Shula on the sidelines with a great coaching staff. You know, something that Tua does not have on the offensive side, a great coaching staff or all of that. And so I was thinking about that because Marino is a freak. Forget about Marino. Marino cannot be compared to anybody in Dolphin history and a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL history. People like Marino are just, like I've told you over and over again, that's a once-in-a-lifetime type of guy, okay? And he had no line and no running game. He only had the left side of the line and no running game. And he did the best he could, but he couldn't win anything significant. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting how Greasy and Tua are kind of the same kind of guy, like Drew Brees is. And Drew Brees had a running game, had an offensive line, had Sean Payton. So I go from Shula and Sean Payton to Mike McDaniel or Flo. Not necessarily guys that can really coach the offense. And again, Sean Payton had a dedication to running, a dedication to the offensive line, a dedication to the tight end, a dedication to big receivers. Okay? Because like I told you, you go look at, like I explained with Tampa. Tampa has 2 running backs. They have a good offensive line. They have a great one, but the problem is their left tackle is out right now. So that kind of brings them down a little bit. Once they get their left tackle back, then they'll be back at elite. But they have big receivers. They have a tight end. And these are the basics that the Drew Breeses and the Bob Greaseys of the world had. And I bring up Bob especially because I can bring up Drew Brees because it's something that's more recent, and even young people saw Drew Brees and they can put one and one together. But the guy that's in our history, the guy that's in the Ring of Honor, would not be in the Ring of Honor if it wasn't for that offensive line and those running backs. If you don't give him that offensive line and those running backs and you put him in the same position that Tua's in and he's running for his life, he doesn't win anything. You know, hell, the one championship that he won, he didn't have to even play the regular season because his backup played the entire regular season. And the backup did not lose a game. Why? Because the backup had the same thing the starter had. A dominant offensive line, a dominant running game, a great coaching staff on the sidelines. You know, these are things that just don't exist for Tua, unfortunately. With the Ravens, you have your offensive line, you have your running game, you have your tight ends, you have receivers, and you have John Harbaugh and a great staff. I mean, it helps. You know what I'm saying? All those kind of things help your quarterback succeed. And the fact that people are so focused on a quarterback right now that does not have the help. And listen, I'm not making any excuses. The last couple of weeks, he's made some bad passes. Shit that happens with quarterbacks all the time. They get into funks. They go into peaks and valleys. You know, the same people that are bitching and complaining, they're not saying anything about what he overcame last year to lead the league in completion percentage with no line and no running game and a shitty coach and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? So it's the same people complaining are the same people that don't give any credit when things are going well, when he's able to overcome all the bullshit that he has there at times. And it's hard to do. And it's harder to do when you're not those freak talents. So since he is not Josh Allen that can run around and all of that, but the interesting part is Josh Allen has had all the help, an offensive line that hasn't missed a down in 2 years, and he hasn't won shit yet. At least he goes to the playoffs, but shit, he should. He's got a good coach. He's got a running game. He's got an offensive line. He's got tight ends. He's got everything. Tua doesn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just interesting how if you look at history, you look at recent history, you look at what's currently going on, it's all about understanding who you have and how to build it around him. Okay, certain people, okay, we don't have to add 2 running backs because he's a running back along with the running back, like Lamar. You don't need 2 running backs because you have Lamar and you have Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? If you have a regular quarterback, a Marino, a Peyton Manning, a Greasy, a Tua, a Breeze, you got to have 2 backs. That's what they do with Baker Mayfield, 2 backs. That's the way it goes. Goff, 2 backs. You know, when your guy is not necessarily an athlete, that's what you're supposed to do. And we don't have the dedication. We don't have the line. We don't have enough backs to commit to it because, until you actually do it with Ollie, not just a taste of it, we really don't know if we have it or not. But it's just interesting how Bob Greasy would be that same dude in this position right now. Everybody would be killing Bob Greasy, and he would probably screw up at times. And then why? Because he's not that guy that's going to try to overcome all that stuff. And even all the guys that can run around, Lamar and Josh Allen, they've won nothing so far. Hell, Lamar doesn't even win in the playoffs. And then you look at the guy in Philadelphia who's a mediocre passer, and he wins it. Why? Because he's got everything in front of him. Got the best line in football, the best running back in football. You can't beat shit like that. AJ at wide receiver, you can't beat shit like that, dude. Devonta Smith and everything, tight ends, you just can't beat that. And that's because some teams build it right around their guy, knowing who they are. And other teams like ours, they just look at their guy and they don't know how to build right around them. Sucks. All year cooling and plumbing, folks. They are the best. They've been in business since 1973. They are the #1 AC and plumbing service in Florida. Extended warranty, financing available, same-day installations, free repair estimates. Check them out. They're 52 years in, man. 888-204-5554. That's 888-204-5554 for all year cooling. All right. Costa has the Rams winning the Super Bowl. Interesting. Could happen, dude. Could happen. So, you never know. Would be interesting if the Rams would win it. That would be pretty impressive for Sean McVay. I would. That is one you would have to really tip your hat to. All right, folks, we're out of here. We appreciate all of you out there. We thank the great Sean Stanley. Slow day today, not a lot to talk about. So I am going to call it a day. Appreciate all of you out there. Don't forget to hit the like button. We'll see you tomorrow morning live at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.